now our story continues, hurtling through the air. Welcome to Aetherdrift, part 5 of the story. And we come to the part where they went through this dashless omen path, and all of a sudden, when it comes back, they're just flying through the air, and they're all like, well, we're in trouble now. I don't know if there's a way to fix this. And it's just them, and they end up being in Amonkhet, and they're just like, I don't know what's going to happen. We're just in the air upside down. Duretti's trying like, this thing's got a hold. We got to figure out if there's a way to fix it. Just Duretti, Piano Noir, Lute, Chandra. And then they all wake up, making sure everyone's okay. And they're like, okay, is there anything that we can do to fix this vehicle? Is there any way we need to rest? We need to calm down. We need to chill. We can figure this all out. It's okay. And then they get to busy basically working on the stuff. It's really funny, though, that Duretti is hilarious. I love Duretti. I would love to see him as a character. And hopefully if we ever get the Magic TV show or cartoons or anything along those lines, that we get some Duretti, because Duretti cracks me up. He's just like, Noir's Prime and Junior. Prime and Junior, and then he calls it Senior and Junior. So Pia is Prime, and then Chandra is Junior. And basically saying that this thing is just burnt out. We got to find a way to fix it. The engine's gone. We got to find a way to fix it. Most people will be able to do it, but it's like, I think there's a way that with everything that we have around us here, out in the middle of the desert, but they're in like this oasis area, we can figure this all out. And then there's a whole thing like where they're having conversation, and they're just talking and trying to figure out what to do. And then there's a scene where Chandra's basically like welding and working and using her powers to kind of help develop a new form of an engine, basically how they're doing it so it can run. And so they're trying to see if they can do it and get it to run and get it to going and trying to figure it all out. It's quite interesting. There's a spot where basically Chandra's like, my mom's good at fixing things. I mostly melt them, which is quite funny. Most of this is just a very little like spot where they're all together here, going back and forth, trying to figure it out. And then there's a scene where they look up at the stars, and I found this very interesting. So they look up the stars, and they're wondering, does each of them have planeswalkers? Can you planeswalk? Can you get from like where they're at on where they currently are to space? Hint, hint, future, we're going to space, so we'll see how we get there at some point. But they are talking about that, which is quite interesting, leading into some thoughts about, Pia's like, Saheeli has talked about that before, about ways to get there, and we'll try to figure it out, and everything like that. So they're still talking about it, and then it's just like, Chandra's up awake, and she ends up meeting Ketchamos, which is the god there, the newest god, and Ketchamos is talking to her for a little bit, and how she's new, and where they're at, and all of this stuff, and kind of tries to help them, and they have a conversation and all of this stuff. And then we switch back over to Spitfire. So that part of the story is not like exciting events and race, but it's just kind of like story building. You're building your characters and stuff like that. And it's Spitfire, and Spitfire's like, I've got this race. I'm going to win. We're going to do this. It's between her and Winter. They are basically crossing into Avishkar. They're into the finish line. Except there's a problem. They're attacking each other. All of a sudden, there's this wall where there shouldn't be a wall. And she's like, what is going on? And ends up crashing into it, the wall. And also, so does Winter. So they both crash. And they're coming out of there. But she realizes her mask is broken in half. And her dad is the one there and sees her and gets really upset. And is just like, what's going on? Why is this? This is crazy. Get her help. And then, it is Jace and Vraska. And they're pulling Winter out and like, where's Lute? Where is Lute? Vraska's asking him. And then basically Jace just kind of like snaps into his like mind sculpting mode and trying to like just find himself. And they're like, we're gonna bring it with us. We got to find out what's going on. So that's what's going to happen here. We don't know. That's crazy. They had this thing ambush set up in this area, and they're trying to figure out where Lute was and all this stuff. Well, then we go back over to Duretti. It's the morning. Everyone wakes up. They're trying to get this vehicle up and going, and they're like, "Look, we gotta start the car the old-fashioned way." Pia's like, "Yeah, start the car the old-fashioned way." And Charles like, "What do you mean?" And then take 2 wires, like hot wiring the car, get it going. And Ketchum must have told them where the nearest Omos path was. Chandra, the Overstone path, was a bit away, but Luke's like, no. There's a closer one. And basically, they realize that that's how Winter was cheating, was with Lute. And then at the very, very end, Oscar says, hey, maybe we can still win after all. Probably not, but with your help, we're going to make one heck of an entrance. And then the very last sentence in the whole thing is, in less than 15 minutes, she'll come to regret those words. What that means, we don't know. This story has a little bit more building. We'll have to wait, I believe, until Monday. Typically, they don't put stories out on the weekends. So we'll have to wait until Monday to find out what's going to happen. This is crazy. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I'm curious to see the what between Vraska and Jace and their side of stuff. Mohar and his like revolutionary. What's going on there with that? The race. Who's going to win? I don't know. This is crazy. I'll probably make one more video for Monday about who I believe is going to win the race. Speculations, stuff like that. I don't know if we'll get one more part, 2 more part, 3 more part, how many more parts we got. We have a couple more parts, and then we get into where the spoilers happen. And so excited about all of that. Hope you're excited about Aetherdrift. These stories have been amazing. I really do hope we get some sort of animated form of this, because I've been digging the story and been super excited about it. And it wouldn't be that hard to put together like a 30 to 45 minute, or do but in a bunch of shorts, putting these all together. Even though it wasn't like fully animated, it was like the stop motion looking like things, if you know what I mean. Well, let us know in the comments below what you thought of the story so far. Who are you pulling for? Which team do you think is going to end up pulling it out in the very end? I have a couple of thoughts and ideas. Seeing now that I was cheering for Spitfire, but it looks like she's off the race. Winter, I was kind of cheering for him, and even though he was kind of being mean, I also feel for the guy. So we'll see what's going to happen. Is Chandra going to pull out from behind and win, or is there another team that might pull it out from nowhere? Who knows? Right now, there's no way to cross the finish line because of the blockage. So maybe there's some way to get around it. But I appreciate you guys so much for being here. And as always, we'll see you next time.